Bossing, skilling, guides. Hey guys, what is up? It is Scuzzy. Welcome to another mining and smithing rework overview, review, whatever you want to call it. So this one is the design of mining for the basic mechanics. I wanted to take a step back and look at the first document on there. It's going to be in the description if you want to read along with me. But as with always, the design is subject to playtesting and feedback. If it sucks, they are going to change it. As in pre-rework mining, the player clicks on rocks to mine them with a mining pick. Higher mining skill and better picks result in more experience and more ore. Higher level rocks give better experience and more valuable ore. The main changes are the player can choose to gain slightly faster experience and ore by actively engaging, or less by playing mostly AFK, and we're going to discuss that in a little bit. XP and ore are awarded separately. The experience is more frequent and ore is less frequent. Rocks do not deplete and there is no competition. Ore can be banked at deposit boxes at every mining area, which is actually a huge thing. So what they're trying to do here is they're trying to get away from us dropping all of the ore that we mine, as because we do that now. Because it's better experience, it's much harder for us to go to the bank for such little GP that we don't do it. So the updates are, I suppose the updates after they first wrote this, added a new mechanic to make banking ore easier, changed the recovery animation mechanic to be every X strikes rather than always after every ore, added a small benefit from strength and agility to mining speed. So let's look at the rocks. Ore is obtained from rocks, obviously the same as it works currently. These rocks will be placed around the world in locations which become more inaccessible at higher tiers. So they're gonna be adding the higher tier rocks. They're obviously not in the game yet, and they're gonna put it in places where it's inaccessible until you get higher tiers, which is pretty cool. Although all ore will be obtainable without quest prerequisites, so for everybody who hates quests, that's a great thing there. It is possible that quests might unlock more accessible locations, though. Rocks will not be hard to find, and they will not deplete. Very weird concept, but I think it might work. This means that you never compete with other players for ore, which is amazing. It's just you take the toxicity out of it. You don't fight with people. You can have socialization. Mining is what it was supposed to be. I'm sure this is what their vision was, to have people socialize over a skill. If they want to AFK, they can. And people aren't, complete jerks to other people for no reason. Literally no reason. It's just, I don't want to go on a ramble, but this means that you never have to compete with other players for ore, which is amazing. The quantity of ore a player can obtain and the amount entering the economy as a result will be controlled by the mechanics themselves, which is really cool. I read this before I did the video, so I kind of knew what was going on beforehand, and I'm pretty impressed with this. I actually really am. So we go to mining. When the player clicks on a rock, the character begins striking it with a mining pick, as it normally does. If a player is carrying multiple mining picks, they choose this order. The first one is held in your hand, so if you're holding a dragon pickaxe, it's going to look at that one first. Then it's going to be the highest tier pick in your inventory. So if you have a tier 90 pick in your inventory, but you're not wielding it, you're wielding a bronze pick, it's going to look at the bronze pick first, so just make sure that you're not wielding a bronze pick. And then the third one's going to be the pick in the tool belt. If the player chooses to ignore the more involved mechanics, then they will automatically accumulate mining XP and ore. Experience will be gained on every strike, whereas ore is only obtained every so often, and it's going to be at a set interval. It's not going to be random. And that will be explained in a couple of seconds, maybe a minute or so. In this regard, the skill will feel very similar to pre-rework, but with more frequent but proportionally smaller experience drops. Experience per hour will remain roughly the same as pre-rework, but the new rates will be slightly faster, around 10% or so faster, at a given level in order to err on the side of not nerfing the skill. So we have difficulty in progress. The player strikes with their mining pick automatically once every 4 ticks. Every strike, they accumulate progress points. Progress points are a bit like the quote-unquote damage dealt to a rock. The amount of progress points earned per swing depends on the player's mining level and the type of pick they are using. Better picks get more progress per strike. Each point of mining skill also adds 1 progress per strike. So you could have a mining pick that has 60 progress, and then your level 99 mining will add a 99 progress to it as well. So you'll have a total of 159. All rocks have a difficulty, which is the amount of progress needed to get the ore from the rock. Once the player has built up progress points equal to the difficulty of the rock, they get a piece of ore from that rock. Like I said, it's going to be a set interval, and the progress is reset to 0. Any excess progress is lost, although full experience is gained for that strike. The rock is not destroyed or depleted. They really, really want to stress that these rocks do not decay when you get ore from them, which is nice. So people start to understand that. The experience a player earns on each strike is equal to the amount of progress earned, multiplied by a bonus for the rock type, which increases with tier. This means that more progress equals more experience, and higher mining rocks will give much better experience than lower tier rocks. Progress is stored even if you stop mining. If you resume again later, you'll carry on where you left off. You don't need to be mining the same exact rock, just any rock of that type. If you mine a different rock type, your progress will reset to 0. Next topic is breaks and recovery, which is something that we don't have yet. Every so often while mining, a player character will tire and need to take a break to recover. The frequency of breaks depends on the player's mining level. The player's mining level divided by 10 is approximately the number of strikes that can be made before a break is needed. So if you're 99, then it's approximately, I don't know if they're rounding up or down, but approximately 10 seconds, or not seconds, 10 strikes, and then your player makes he has to rest. When a break is taken, the player pauses for 20 ticks, wiping their brow and having a breather. At the end of this 20-tick period, the player automatically resumes mining with no input required. The player can automatically interrupt the break by simply clicking on the rock to resume mining. There is no penalty for doing this and no minimum delay, so clicking promptly results in no loss of efficiency, which is actually really nice. I love that they did that. This rewards attentive gameplay without harshly penalizing players who are largely AFK. Mining the highest tier ore at 90 plus, the penalty for not clicking at all will be around 30% less efficient for both XP and ore, which is, I like that. I really do like that. You got Hardness. In return for giving a better experience multiplier and higher tier ore, higher tier rocks also have a property called Hardness. This is a flat reduction in the amount of progress you get when you strike that rock. For example, if your pick would normally strike for 11 progress and the rock has a hardness of 10, you actually only get 1 progress. And I would like to add, maybe they could, I don't know if anybody's watching from Jagex, but maybe you could add the fact that if you mine a diamond, you have to use a specific type of, like in real life. I know they try to veer away from real life stuff, but a lot of this stuff, you have hardness in real life. Like glass has a specific hardness. Different rocks have different hardnesses. I don't know if that's the right word, but you could have it so a bronze pick could never mine a high tier ore. I don't know if that's how it is actually. It might be. Yeah, it might be. But the thing is, like, if you're 99 in mining, you'll do 99 progress. Let's say a bronze pick has 10, to be at 101, make it so that the hardness for the highest tier rock is, or the first hardness rock is 105, so you can never mine it no matter what your mining level is, because I don't think you should be able to. And you could even bring back the mining picks breaking. That would be kind of funny. But yeah, so you counter hardness by using a better quality pickaxe. picks have a penetration value which is the same as the hardness at that tier. For example, Dacrylith rocks have a hardness of 60, and Dacrylith or Dragon Pickaxe has a penetration of 60. The penetration of the pick you're using is subtracted from the rock's hardness before the hardness is subtracted from the progress. If the net hardness is less than 0, progress is not penalized at all. The progress is not added either, just to note. This means that as long as you're using a pickaxe which has at least as high a tier as the rocks you're mining, you can ignore hardness and make full progress. This mechanic only affects players who are trying to mine high-level ore without using the right pickaxe. The hardness mechanic exists to make sure that higher tiers of ore are difficult to mine with low-tier pickaxes. In my opinion, they should not be able to be mined with lower-tier pickaxes. Without it, higher-tier rocks would need to have difficulties which were hundreds or thousands of times higher, with a corresponding progress from high-tier pickaxes. This would make high-tier pickaxes too effective at mining low-tier ore, and also reduce the impact of the mining skill on mining rates at high level to be nearly irrelevant compared with the pickaxe, which I like that they're telling us the thought process behind it. It makes a lot of sense why they're choosing it. Next, we have Imcando Pixies or Pixies. And that's just deposit points. The Imcando dwarves were sophisticated spellcasters as well as skilled miners and smiths, and used magical mining quote-unquote carts called Pixies, I don't know, to quickly transport ore between locations. In recent years, enterprising humans have set up a network of these Pixies around the world to make mining much more efficient and profitable. Each mining spot has one or more Pixies, which are cylindrical crates. What? I don't know if they meant to say cylindrical. Which are cylindrical crates located somewhere within easy reach of the mining rocks. The Pixies stores a certain amount of ore, after which it must be teleported away to be emptied. The amount of ore stored depends on the ore type, but corresponds to about 20 to 30 minutes of mining depending on the level of activity. Once the Pixies is full, no more can be dumped into it. At this point, the player can click on it to teleport themselves to the nearest bank, along with all the ores in the Pixies, which is then automatically and immediately deposited into the bank for them. The Pixies is now empty, but the player will have to return to the mining point using their own methods. Although conceptually the Pixies is teleporting to the bank with the ore, the Pixies itself doesn't actually move, only the player. The aims of this mechanic are to make banking ore less difficult, to remove the need for drop mining, also to create natural breakpoints in the skill so you can't mine indefinitely without interruption, and then also to establish a formal network of mining spots which could be tied into future teleport rewards. Next we have Strength and Agility. Strength and Agility will both have small effects on mining. 1/10 of the strength skill rounded up, so about 10 if you're level 99, will be added to the progress with every pickaxe strike. The contribution of strength to mining effectiveness will be around 5% of overall mining performance. 1/10 of the agility skill rounded up will be subtracted from the number of cycles the character pauses for when recovering when mining away from keyboard. This has no effect on performance when mining actively, but potentially as high as 15% improvement on rates when away from keyboard. Both of these cases are highly dependent on balancing and feedback, and may well be removed if they turn out to be problematic. We would like to add additional values to these skills which are currently underused, but at the same time we never want high strength to be a prerequisite for effective skilling. Numbers? I'll post up a spreadsheet with some numbers as soon as I can. The numbers are going to be the thing that changes most frequently. It's likely the first 2 to 3 attempts at balancing things like ore rates, XP rates, etc. are going to be completely insane and need fixing. Personally, I'd rather get the numbers out there as soon as possible for people to give feedback on, rather than sitting on them until they're perfect. I'm not sure where those numbers are, but might be in the next document. So stay tuned for the next episode. I think it's going to do it. Not much more to say other than I really like what's going on here, and I hope that it comes into the game. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you not tomorrow. It's going to be the weekend. I will see you Monday for, definitely come see the Monday's episode. It's going to be crazy. We're getting the some good updates. So I will see you then. Have a great weekend. Peace. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great day. Follow me on social media and subscribe for more. Peace.
Lions roaring in the morning sun, searching for a longer day. People feeling